And then to be able to run in a touchdown, it's been a long time there. That was in no way the play at all. It was a play to Jonnu, and the whole left side just caved in. I started running and realized.
One week, fans are chanting, "Fire Tomlin," at their own stadium. The next week, Aaron Rodgers tells everyone to shut up. What happened in between? Let me tell you about one of the wildest turnarounds in football this season. The Pittsburgh Steelers were in serious trouble heading into December. They had just lost badly to the Buffalo Bills. The score was 26-7. Rodgers only threw for 117 yards. That's really bad for a starting quarterback. He also hurt his nose during the game and had to leave for a bit to stop the bleeding. The offense looked terrible. In the second half, they only got 3 total yards. 3 yards. You could probably throw a rock farther than that. But the real problem wasn't just one bad game. The Steelers were 6 wins and 6 losses. Their passing game was ranked 24th in the whole league. That's almost last place. Rodgers wasn't throwing deep at all. In the entire month of November, he didn't complete a single pass longer than 31 yards. Not one. And remember, this is Aaron Rodgers we're talking about. The guy who used to throw bombs down the field like it was nothing. To make things worse, Rodgers was playing with a broken wrist. Not his throwing hand, but still. He had to wear a big brace that made it hard to take snaps. He's also 42 years old. That's really old for a football player. And he was still recovering from tearing his Achilles back in September 2023. So, yeah, things weren't looking good. The receivers weren't helping either. The Steelers traded for DK Metcalf before the season. He's supposed to be this huge, strong receiver who can catch anything, but he was struggling big time. Rodgers even said publicly that guys weren't getting open. That's a nice way of saying they weren't doing their job. The offense basically became just running the ball and throwing short passes to the running back. Boring and ineffective. Then came the fans. After that Bills loss, the home crowd at Pittsburgh started chanting, "Fire Tomlin." Mike Tomlin is the head coach. He's been there for 19 years and never had a losing season. But people wanted him gone. Even Ben Roethlisberger, the old Steelers quarterback, went on his podcast and said, maybe it's time for Tomlin to leave. He said,
it's being talked about around here a lot. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a clean house time. Maybe it is. Maybe it's time. And I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin.
That's brutal. When your own former players are saying you should go, that's really bad. Tomlin even agreed with the fans after the game. He said, in general, I agree with the Fire Tomlin chants. Can you imagine your own coach agreeing that maybe he should be fired? So the Steelers had to play the Baltimore Ravens next, and this game mattered a lot. Both teams were 6-7. Whoever won would be in first place in their division. The loser would be in big trouble. The game was in Baltimore, at their stadium, with their loud fans. Everything was against Pittsburgh. But something changed during the week. First, it was Rodgers' birthday on Tuesday. The team celebrated with him. One of the receivers bought a vanilla birthday cake. 2 rookie players brought balloons shaped like the numbers 4 and 2 for his age. They blew them up themselves and brought them to Rodgers' house where he watches film with the team. It sounds silly, but it brought everyone together. The Steelers also added 2 new receivers, Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. These are veterans who've been around the league. They brought more professionalism to the team. Thielen even texted Metcalf and said, hey man, if I'm overstepping at all, let me know. Metcalf told him, no man, talk as much as you want. That's leadership right there. By the end of the week, Metcalf said, this week just felt different as a team, as a whole. The very first play of the game, Rodgers threw a bomb. 52 yards right to Metcalf down the sideline. Just like that, they were in scoring position. A few plays later, the Steelers had 3rd down and 1 yard to go from the 1-yard line. The play was supposed to be a fake handoff and then a pass, but Rodgers saw the left side of his offensive line collapse. Instead of getting sacked, he just ran it in himself for a touchdown. Now here's the crazy part. Rodgers hadn't scored a rushing touchdown since 2022. That's 3 years, and this was his first one since tearing his Achilles. He's 42 years old with a broken wrist, and he outran 2 huge defensive linemen who weigh over 340 pounds each. Rodgers joked about it later, saying, I had 2 larger humans chasing me that I maybe was equal to or slightly faster than. The rookie quarterback Will Howard was pumped. He said, I've been waiting to see the discount double check. That's Rodgers' famous celebration.
Warren, the running back. Warren, they fake it to him. Rodgers still has it. He's going to take off running for the touchdown. Aaron Rodgers.
Howard continued, and he kept saying rushing touchdowns only for the double check. So I'm glad we got that today. That was vintage Aaron Rodgers. He's still playing like he's well into his 30s. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens quarterback, threw an interception, and guess who caught it? His own cousin, James Pierre, who plays defense for Pittsburgh. Talk about awkward family dinners. That led to another Steelers touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell ran it in from 6 yards out. Now it was 17-3. Jackson scored right before halftime to make it 17-9, but Tyler Loop missed the extra point. Still, the Steelers were in control. The second half started just like the first. Rodgers threw another bomb to Metcalf. This one went 41 yards. That led to a field goal. Then the Ravens scored a touchdown to make it 20-16. Things were getting close. But Rodgers wasn't done. On third down, he threw 31 yards to Calvin Austin. Then on another third down, he threw a short pass to Jaylen Warren, who took it 38 yards for a touchdown. Just like that, it was 27-16. 2 huge third down conversions in a row. That's championship football right there. Remember how Rodgers didn't complete a pass over 31 yards in all of November? Against the Ravens, he had 4 passes of at least 31 yards, plus 2 more over 20 yards. Metcalf had his best game of the season. 7 catches for 148 yards. Those 2 huge catches down the sideline showed everyone why the Steelers traded for him. The Ravens were playing man-to-man coverage without much help over the top. That's exactly what Rodgers and Metcalf needed. By the end of the game, Rodgers had thrown for 284 yards. That's the most he's had since joining the Steelers. He completed 67.6% of his passes. The week before against Buffalo, only 47.6%. What a difference. And the offensive line didn't let him get sacked even once. But the game wasn't over yet. With just under 3 minutes left, Lamar Jackson threw a pass to Isaiah Likely in the end zone. Likely caught it with both hands. His right foot came down, then his left foot. It looked like a touchdown. The refs called it a touchdown. Ravens fans were going crazy. But then they reviewed it. And here's where it gets technical. In the NFL, you need 3 things for a catch. But before he could make that third step, Joey Porter Jr. knocked the ball out. No touchdown. Incomplete pass. Game over. The NFL's vice president of replay explained it later. He said, before he could get the third foot down, the ball was ripped out. Therefore, it was an incomplete pass. The Ravens were furious, but the call stood. There was another crazy play too.
He did not finish the third element.
Earlier in the fourth quarter, Rodgers threw a pass that got batted in the air. It bounced around and Rodgers himself caught it before falling down. At first, they called it an interception, but after review they said Rodgers caught his own pass and was down. That gave the Ravens worse field position when they got the ball back. The final score was 27-22. The Steelers won. Their playoff chances jumped to 68%. Just 1 week earlier, fans were chanting to fire their coach. Now they were leading the division. After the game, reporters asked Rodgers what the win meant. He smiled and said,
These maybe you guys will shut the hell up for a week. Okay.
Everyone laughed, but he was serious too. He was defending his coach and his team. Mike Tomlin himself was confident after the game. He blew a kiss at the CBS cameras. He called it a big win for us, obviously, in a hostile environment. And when asked about his aggressive play calling, he said,
I just think we were in an aggressive posture all day. I just think that's how we got out of bed this morning. That's what's required when you're playing these guys in their venue.
That's what's required when you're playing these guys in their venue. The Steelers still have 4 games left. They play Miami next on Monday Night Football. Then they face the Ravens again in the final game of the season. That one could decide everything. The division title, the playoffs, maybe even Tomlin's future, though that seems secure now.